Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, He elaborates here. And Allah tabarak wa ta'ala points out that this nafs of ours, it's one that calls us to evil. Allah says, وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ, verily the nafs. What is it? لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ, it commands evil. It calls the person to evil.
وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ إِلَّا مَا رَحِمَ رَبِّي إِنَّ رَبِّي غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ.
So you cannot choose one part of that and say, I have taqwa. So if you go, and I'm using the word taqwa, many of you may not be familiar with the word. Taqwa originally comes from wiqaya. And wiqaya means protection. Taqwa means someone who is protecting themselves. A muttaqi literally means someone who is protecting themselves. If you went into the house and you locked the door behind you so nobody comes into the house, you engaged in an act of taqwa. That's literally what taqwa means. So actually, taqwa is to protect yourself. Now the question is, protect yourself from what? One, you're protecting yourself from your own self. وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Whoever has been protected, same origin, yuqa, from taqwa also. وَمَنْ يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ. Whoever can be protected from the greed that they have inside themselves are successful people. That's what Allah says. Every act of taqwa is protecting you from you, protecting me from me. There is a horribly greedy, selfish, you want to call it narcissistic and toxic, go ahead. There's that inside me. There's a terrible nafs inside me. It exists. And it's a monster. And I have to protect myself from that part of me. I cannot deny that part of me. I have to be aware that it's always going to be there, and I have to keep that animal down. I have to suppress it. So just like we suppress our appetites in Ramadan, we have to suppress our greed also. We have to suppress that also. This is the message of taqwa. Protecting yourself from yourself. Then from there, it is protecting yourself from the disappointment of Allah. Protecting yourself from the displeasure of Allah. Protecting yourself from punishment. فَاتَّقُوا النَّارِ وَاتَّقُوا يَوْمًا تُرْجَعُونَ فِيهِ إِلَى اللَّهِ. Protecting yourself from the judgment day, a day on which you will all be returned to Allah. And all of it begins with us protecting us from our own selves. Make us people that as Ramadan approaches, we become more and more aware of what we need to protect ourselves from within ourselves. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us incredibly self-aware of our own shortcomings, our own failings, our own tendencies, and allow us the strength and the honesty with ourselves to cover those parts of ourselves instead of somebody else pointing out your flaws, somebody else pointing out your evils or your tendencies. I should be able to point out my own evils to myself and to patch them up. That would be the act of taqwa. And may Allah Azza wa Jal allow us to see the month of Ramadan and come out of the month of Ramadan with a new and renewed and strengthened taqwa. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikr al-Hakim.